Virat Kohli should have played this shot like this. Oh, look at MS Dhoni, what he has done. He should have done like this. Mr. Sharma should haven't done this. You should have done this.
ये तू चुप रहे रे, तू चुप रहे बाबा, तू चुप रहे, हैं? तेरे को कुछ नहीं मालूम.
We love giving opinions, we love giving feedback, but we rarely accept feedback. And in this video, we will learn how to accept feedback. Think about the last time you received feedback from someone. Think about time. The last time you received feedback from someone. Who was the person who gave you the feedback and what did you do? Did you listen to the feedback and try to learn as much as you could from it? Did you ask questions in order to receive as much detailed information as possible? Or did you become defensive? Happens. We often become defensive the moment someone tries to highlight our flaws. We think that, hey, how can he say this thing? How can he attack me? How can he find mistakes in me? And we try to defend ourselves. But understand, if you spend all of your time explaining yourself, you won't have time to hear what the other person is trying to suggest you. You'll be more curious or more inclined to justify yourself than listen what the person is saying. And listen to what the person is saying. Listen. Now, generally what happens when we receive feedback? Ask yourself, generally what happens when you receive feedback? When we receive feedback, we usually go through 3 stages. Number 1, we react. Number 2, we reflect. Or number 3, we respond. React, reflect, and respond. For feedback to be useful, it is important that we analyze the feedback before responding. People are reactive. How do you say this to me? I never did this. How can you use these words for me? If you want the feedback to be effective, just analyze what the feedback is before just immediately reacting. Now, I would share with you how to approach each of these 3 stages, which I just mentioned. The first one is to react. Now, in this stage, you need to be aware of and manage your emotional reaction to what you are hearing. Generally, it happens that whenever we hear something which is unexpected, which kind of hurts us, we either say out something, or our expressions, our body language starts like saying something, or some of us will even start crying. Has it happened with you? Where your manager, your boss said something to you and you feel uneasy, you start crying and you just feel uneasy, yes? So you need to be aware that what emotions you are experiencing and what kind of emotional reaction you are experiencing. Think about how what we say and do now will seem or will affect us later. You can immediately say, get lost. I don't agree with what you say. But then think about how your choice of words, your reaction will impact the relationship. For that moment, calm down. Calm down. You should concentrate on listening to the feedback and make an attempt to ask questions so that you ensure that you understand what the other person has to say. The other person has a different opinion. You did your best, undoubtedly. However, the other person, your boss, your manager, is expecting you to behave in a certain way. So try to understand the other person's perspective and viewpoint. It is just giving you a different way of looking at the same problem. Growth mindset, being open to new ways of doing it than being adamant that this is how it works. You must remember not to skip the next stage. Depending on what the feedback is, we might need to end the discussion at this point to give ourselves time to think properly about what we have just heard. Don't just jump through things. Take some time. If you cannot absorb the entire feedback, take your time, reflect, and then find a suitable time to go back and discuss with your manager. If at that point of time you're unable to come up with a logical conclusion, a response versus a react, then don't react. Calm down, take your time, go back, and then give your response. Sounds good? The second stage is to reflect. Now, during this stage, we should be really honest with ourselves. We know it, whether we performed well or not. We know it, whether we did justice to the work or not. So reflect. When we are confronted in the office discussions, when the boss is asking us questions in the appraisal, we try to defend ourselves or lie. But deep within, we all know whether we have worked for the project or not. Yes or no? Yes or no? Honestly, you know it. So, in case of reflection, just ask yourself whether I genuinely put in those efforts or not. You should allow yourself some extra time for your emotions to just calm down. In case if you experience something, maybe your colleague said something to you, or your boss had said something to you, which is still there in your heart, and as you listen more from him, your emotions just take a different shape altogether. Just calm down and give yourself time. Ask for some specific examples to help you understand the feedback. You can say, so I would like to know, what would you have preferred me to do? I mean, I was aware of what I'm doing. Still, I would like to know, what would you have preferred me to do? So you're asking for the preference that, okay, I do understand that I should have done it in this manner, but then what would you have preferred me to do? Or how could I do it differently the next time? Now it is done. I cannot use Control Z and undo things, but how could I do it differently the next time? I'll surely incorporate it. That shows your learning behavior. Not like, this is what I did, this is what I know, and this is how I do it. Either accept it or get lost. I mean, you won't use these words, but somewhere down the line, you have this kind of mindset when you say like this. The third stage would be about responding. Now, during this stage, when we have to respond, accept the feedback by thanking the person giving it. Yes. Be thankful. Feel grateful that you have someone who is giving you feedback. Someone is helping you grow, helping you improve, helping you become better. You should thank them, right? Yes or no? If you don't agree with what the person has said, respectfully say so and support what you believe in with your facts and figures. Or if you have an alternate suggestion, if you don't agree with what the person is saying, you can always come up with some alternatives that, okay, so how about if we look from this perspective, which is neither yours nor his, but it can be a possibility in future. Try that. You can try to focus on the future and the improvement. Suggest options or solutions. Well, we respectfully negotiate and agree to the next steps that we can discuss in our next meeting, next discussion. Perfectly fine. That just shows that, yes, I will incorporate these suggestions and will come back stronger. You need to ensure that you understand the next steps and you are committed to what you're supposed to do. It should not be like you listen from here and you just ignore it. You should implement and show results before you meet the person next. Well, now that you know how you have to respond, how you have to react, how you have to reflect, all the three stages, one great way to accept the feedback is by asking the right questions. It's something really powerful and will help you a lot by asking the right questions. So let's look at some examples. You may ask open-ended questions. Now, asking open-ended questions would make sure that you receive detailed responses which you can use to gather additional information about a specific topic. Example, what are some specific ways I can help our team's mission? Ma'am, what do you think is working and not working with my management right now? It's always about getting validation, getting Acknowledgement that yes, what is working and what is not working. So when you get assurance from people around you that, okay, this is working for you, you get more confidence to try out that thing in other situations as well. You can say that, so which aspects of my working and communication style most concern you? Supposedly you get a feedback that, Divas, you need to improve your skills of communication. So I say, thank you for the feedback, sir. I would like to know which aspects of my working and communication style most concern you. I would be happy to work on those. So, what can I do to get ready for the next project or role? That shows your preparedness. That shows how excited you are, that you want to prepare yourself so well that you're able to deliver it in your next role. The next one can be, you may ask yes or no questions. Yes, you can ask these questions when you want a quick output. Now, this type of question can be used to quickly confirm an idea or validate a gut feeling. For example, have I shown improvements in X? Do you think I should take this course of action? Do you think I should take this course of action? So this is a gut feeling. You're not that sure of it, but then it's just a yes or no question that what does the other person say about this? You can even ask follow-up questions for clarification. That is the next category of asking follow-up questions for clarifications. Well, this is often an opportunity to ask more specific questions about a situation or task. Don't miss an opportunity to learn by rushing past answers you don't understand. For example, you can say, can you tell me more about that? Or can you elaborate upon that part? Or if you can tell me more about how we can improve X or Y or Z, whatever it be. So when you are specifying that, okay, I need to know, I need to get more clarity. So that is a follow-up question which you can use to get more clarity. Also, while taking feedbacks, remember these points. I often see this when I work with my team members. They will make mistakes and sometimes they will not be open to accept their mistakes. Remain positive. While taking feedback, instead of getting angry, take a deep breath and relax. You may count from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This helps, believe me. Remind yourself that the person giving you feedback is only trying to help you. Pray for him that you have someone like him or her who is giving you feedback. The second thing is listen actively. You must remain engaged and listen to the points made by others in order to return to your work and make necessary changes with as much clarity as possible. I mean, sometimes we are standing there, we are pretending that yes, we are listening, but then we are not. Our mind is focused somewhere else and we are not listening specifically. So listen what the person is saying. Third, don't react. Do not react. Refrain from making a immediate reaction. I mean, don't even begin to frame a response in your head until you have listened carefully to what has been said. I mean, does it happen with you where when you listen to someone, you don't agree with the person, and in your head you are thinking about how will I respond, what will I say, how dare he say this to me? We are thinking on those grounds. So listen patiently what the person has to say. Don't try to correct the facts. If supposedly the person said you were absent for 11 days in the last month and you know that you were absent for 9 days, so don't say, sir, I was absent for 9 days and not 11 days. No, let the person complete. Let the person complete. If you feel that you need to give an explanation, do it later after the feedback session is over. Once all has been said by the other person, listen and then respond. The fourth will be to compile the feedback. Whatever feedback you've received, just compile the feedback and look at it. Do you get some patterns? Do you get some signs? Look at the entire feedback. It is easy to become confused when you receive a constructive criticism. To avoid any confusion or so, make sure that you look at the summary and then draw conclusions from it. And lastly, express thankfulness. Be grateful. As I said, after receiving the feedback, you should say thank you. It may appear weird that you are thanking someone for pointing out flaws and mistakes in your work, but indirectly, if you look at it, it is making you better, it is making you more productive. Remember, feedback leads to growth. You must understand that feedback exists to help you be better at your job, which means you must learn to accept it as well as implement it. If taken positively, feedback can help you grow in the long run. Well, do you have any feedback for me? Good or bad? Feedback is feedback. Let me know in the comments below. I would be happy to receive feedback from you. Till then, stay awesome, stay productive.